It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back and happy Tuesday. Oh my gosh, there's a lot to cover, and I can't even believe there's so much to cover. But after Real Housewives of Potomac, Salt Lake City, 90 Day, knowing that we're getting the first part of the finale tomorrow for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Lisa and Garcelle information coming out, yeah, there's a lot to cover. Guys, you know I can't do this by myself, but before we bring on our special guest and invite all of you guys to call in, don't forget to smash that like button. This is the subscribers only live chat, so if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. That way you can join in all the fun. And with that, let's welcome Jason. 50 in the room, guys. Wow. By the way, Doll Baby, thank you so much. I'm ready. Thank you for the super chat. Hi.
What's up? I'm ready.
Oh my God.
I'm so excited the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion starts tomorrow. I don't know how I forgot about that. This month has just been flying. So
doesn't it feel like it doesn't
we're already
stop?
Here. It
does not stop.
And we have 4 weeks of this reunion.
Oh my gosh. So
that's like a third of a season or something.
I'm hoping, because we heard from from producers, from Andy Cohen, from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, we heard this reunion was supposed to be explosive, but we were like, okay, is this a publicity stunt? Andy Cohen said we left nothing on the table, but can we trust him? And then when Ronald Richards said, oh no, shit went down, we already saw the first part, I was like, oh, okay, that's credible because it's Ronald Richards. You know, if Andy Cohen forgot to ask a question, you know he'd be the first one to call it out.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, Heather Corkin, thank you so much for the super chat. Guys, 100 in the room already. Wow, that's amazing. Go ahead, smash that like button, and let's cover the first topic. So Jason already covered this a little bit on his channel, but I could not help but cover it. Jason has a little bit more of the details, but for those of you who don't know, Jason used to manage Pump, and I worked at TomTom, and there was an event held at TomTom. At this event, it was an event for a charity for Haiti, correct?
Yep.
Okay, a charity for Haiti, hosted by Richardson, who used to be my manager. Love him. He's intense. He's strong. He's intense. I think that's like the best way I can put it, but he's a lot. But he also, one thing I have to say about him is he very much so cares about Haiti. And that's where he comes from. I have so much respect for Richardson.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad that this event took place. My thing is Richardson has been featured on the show, just a little bit throughout the years. But he's worked for Lisa for over a decade. I want to say like 12 years now, 11, 12 years. And it's just like when he's on the intro for Vanderpump Rules, this I thought was such a great opportunity. I know they rushed through filming Vanderpump Rules this year. They did it in a very short amount of time, but this was such a great opportunity to catch this kind of event. And I don't know why maybe they couldn't do it just a little bit sooner. But it would kind of show off, really the people who work for Lisa, not just the people on the TV.
Well, and we've talked about this before. Vanderpump Rules is lacking one thing aside from the ratings. It's lacking diversity because West Hollywood is not a bunch of white people. It's not.
Well, it's not just West Hollywood. It's Lisa Vanderpump's restaurants, Tom Sir, before Villa Blanca, also Pump, with one more on the way somewhere in the mix there. And you have people who I think are more interesting than the people on the show. You have a ton of diversity, anywhere from people of color to people all around the world who work in these places, people who represent all, echelons of the LGBTQIA plus community. And this is the kind of event I would love to see, because this is the kind of event too. Richardson brings out kind of the more fun, like kind of less stuck up kind of Lisa. Do you know what I mean? Like every time she's around Richardson, she becomes a little more fun. So I just wish that that side would have been kind of pressed. I'm so glad that they did that. However, there was the headline in Daily Mail which mentioned, Lisa Vanderpump came to a charity event at her restaurant, TomTom. Garcelle Bouvet was in attendance, and Lala, Kent was in attendance. Well,
yeah, but so were the other Vanderpump Rules stars. So why is Lala like the most heavily featured?
Because she is right now the most popular, and they're pushing her this was a great opportunity to get a headline, to push Vanderpump Rules, to keep the relevance of Lisa in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills kind of, thing. It goes hand in hand, Vanderpump Rules, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So it's like, okay, but there was no mention really of, I know Page 6 covered it a little bit, but there's no mention of actually the charity Richardson and his work. He's done a lot of work, not just for this charity, he did the fundraiser for, but also Project Elevate, which he's worked on for years and years and years to help build up Haiti and the communities there that have been affected by, lack of resources, lack of money, and of course now, an earthquake. And usually it's a hurricane or something that hits Haiti. Haiti always gets hit, so they always need help. And I'm so glad that that, they did a fundraiser for that cause.
And to be fair, Richardson is so much more than just a manager at the restaurant. He is multifaceted. He also writes films. He's always doing a lot. And when he does it, he puts his whole heart into it. So I have to applaud him on that. He is so extreme, but extreme kind of in the best way. No, I'm saying in the best way.
His extreme works, though. His extreme gets the job done. He produced an amazing short film, which I think just released. He does a lot of charity work, especially for Haiti. So I'm glad to see him to do this. And even though I don't think he got the recognition in the press and everything for what he's done, I think, that's the kind of perk you get for working for Lisa. She gets the perk where you can host your party here, I get some press, and then also you get to have a good party and potentially raise a lot of money because of where it's at.
Well, to be fair, though, at this party, at TomTom, at this charity event, there was one person in attendance that kind of got a lot of people raising their brows and questions. We had Garcelle Bouvet and also Lisa Vanderpump. And we've all heard, Garcelle has talked about how she hasn't met Lisa. Lisa's talked about how the fact that she has not met Garcelle, but she heard she's amazing. She's doing really well filming. And they both have talked about each other in nothing but a positive light. And Garcelle said, I would even like to see her come back to the show and shake things up. Now, Lisa did say, the only way I would come back to the show is if you kept Kathy, Garcelle, Sutton, and you scrapped everyone else, which obviously they're not going to do. But do you think there was a conversation, or that there could have been a conversation last night between the two of them?
I'm sure there was a conversation. How it went was probably not, hey, come back to the show. I'm sure it was kind of the relationships that Garcelle has built on the show. The
Lisa likes to press.
Of course, she does love to press, and she does love to know the gossip. So I'm sure they were just talking about the experience, filming and everything. But also Richardson and Garcelle know each other as well. The acting community, the producing community, the film industry is I would like to say small, but the Haitian film industry is even smaller, and so everyone does really know each other there. So they have met before. So I don't know if it's a great opportunity, I think, to support Richardson and also to support her home country, to support this great cause, but also what a great opportunity to kind of pick Lisa's brain a little bit too.
No, I agree with you. And honestly, again, I have to applaud the hell out of Richardson and also Garcelle for showing up, because it is so important to show up, especially when it's for a charitable cause, and not just a charitable cause, but Haiti has been through so much devastation that this whole cause is just absolutely amazing. So whether or not it was for publicity on other people's parts or whatever the case is, I'm just happy that it happened and that Richardson was able to MC this whole event. Now, mind you guys, I have a bunch of people in the chat. I do want to bring up this photo because right now we have these three ladies on the right, kind of out of the Fox Force 5. We have Garcelle, Sutton, and Crystal. And then there's Erika. Erika has said multiple times that this is her season. She is the only one with a storyline. Garcelle and Sutton don't have shit. But at the end of the day, let's think about it. When was the last time?
Do they not have anything, or they haven't been allowed to have anything? I mean, Erika keeps saying she brought the season. Really, it's Tom who brought the season, A. And B, are you allowing anyone to have any kind of storyline at all? I mean, basically, I feel like the ladies came in knowing that this was going to be about Erika. And, of course, with how it went, you got to do what you can do. And the only people who have played it off well are Sutton and Garcelle.
Right. And to be fair with you, her biggest storyline ever was Pantygate, and PK brought that because she wasn't wearing panties. Like, Erika, relax. You have not brought a whole lot to the season. And mind you, just like Jason just said, This was Tom Girardi's scandal. So even though you're a part of it because you're affiliated by marriage, okay, great. Let's pan over to Potomac. Michael Darby is the biggest scandal of Potomac. He's the one bringing
and he hasn't
shit.
even really made an appearance this season. A big
well,
appearance
because
anyway.
He's like, this, I'm out. You're not going to make me a scandal. You're not going to make me
he's going to come in at the end and he's going to blow it all up. Watch.
Well, yes, we already know that. But yes, yes. But I do want to ask you really quick before we go on and we take a call. Mind you guys, again, this is the subscribers only live chat. 250 in the room at 10 minutes. You guys are amazing. Go ahead, smash that like button. Let's see if we can't get to 300. Jason, if Lisa Vanderpump were to join the cast again, who would her alliance be?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Oh my gosh, I do.
If Sutton and Lisa would get along.
I don't know if they would get along.
I like Sutton a lot. And then, our friend Jordan works for Sutton. And I just don't know if they would mix. I feel like
By the way, not pouring with Jordan, guys. Not pouring with Jordan.
No, not that Jordan. Different Jordan. But I feel like Garcelle can get along with anyone. And she would utilize Lisa on her side. So I don't know where her alliances would be. I mean, Kathy and Lisa have a very close relationship and have for a very long time. So
yes, they do.
I'm excited to find out answers to those questions. I don't know.
And to be fair, Sutton has a close alliance with Garcelle. Crystal has a close alliance with Kathy. I think Lisa, Kathy, Garcelle, Sutton, and Crystal would be kind of in cahoots and leave Lisa Rinna, Kyle Richards, Dorit Kemsley, and Erika Girardi, the Fox Force 4, because Teddy Mellencamp is no longer in play, even though they are still miking her up for.
Even though, why did they mic her up to film at this?
I don't know.
At this bat mitzvah, no one listen. Okay, I ate my own words. I really loved your interview with Crystal Kung Minkoff. I liked her this last episode. I'm like, where has this Crystal been? I mean, maybe she just hasn't been allowed because Erika has been taking it with her season, but. So I'm eating my own words. I'm going to take it back. You cannot be Teddy 2.0 because Teddy is doing Teddy 2.0 by showing up when we're not asking for her. Like, why are they miking her up at all?
Yeah,
Kyle's really pushing for a friend.
Kyle has been pushing for Teddy for a long time, but stop trying to make fetch happen. Teddy is not going to happen, okay? So I want to go ahead and bring up a caller really quick before we move on to our next topic. I have Doll Baby in the room, and we missed Doll Baby yesterday. Doll Baby, thank you again for the super chat. Let's see if her mic is okay today. And mind you guys, StreamYard is a pain in the ass, so sometimes when it's not the user's fault.
You're telling me.
Yes. Hi, Doll Baby.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad to see y'all.
Hi.
I really missed y'all just because my mic was just trash.
Oh, no, listen, StreamYard is a pain in the ass.
Yes. But look, I think Lisa and Garcelle meeting at that charity event is going to be like forging that friendship so she can come back to the show. I'm hoping she come back to the show because I want her to check Lisa Rinna.
Well, and Lisa Rinna also said she has. Lisa Rinna did say she doesn't have the balls to come back. She said, you do not have the balls to come back and face me, which is a tall order because we all know LVP would rip Lisa Rinna to shreds. She lost her mom. She lost her brother.
And, she had to have that time to, regroup, to grieve. And I think when she come back, she's going to give it to Lisa Rinna. And I hope she does. And as far as Sutton and Lisa getting along, I think they will get along because British and Southern people, we have that same kind of, we're very blunt. We'll say what we're going to say and move on with our life.
Yeah. Yeah, my cousins are very similar.
Lisa's like that. Lisa's going to say whatever she want to say. Sutton's going to say what she want to say. And that's why Erika got in her feelings. She's going to be Southern, but she can't take it because she didn't want anybody to check her, but she need to be checked.
Okay. I have to say, anyway, I don't know if now is the right time for Lisa Vanderpump to make any kind of comeback. She's had a year. She's had a few years of just a lot of dramatic things happening in her life. With her mom, her brother, etc.
Right.
Opening businesses. She is very busy. She's about to open another one in Vegas. I really think, I've said it before and I'm going to keep saying it. So, hate me all you want in the comments, but Vanderpump Rules is coming to a season of completion. I really do think Tom and Tom will open a new place where they're going to need Lisa's help. And then we're going to expand into the Tom world at which time Lisa will step back onto the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and the new Tom Tom spinoff will come on straight after. I mean, it's calculation. And that's how LVP works, and that's why she's so successful.
To be fair, I want to go ahead and bring up
right.
another caller really quick with us. Again, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button. Don't forget it's a subscribers only live chat. Doll baby, let's add Ed Turner to the chat. Hi, Ed.
Hello.
Hello.
Ed.
Hey.
Do we have is Ed your real name?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just making sure. All right. So, question for you. What do you think about this Lisa Vanderpump and Garcelle kind of duo? The fact that they finally met, and do you think that there was a conversation that maybe none of us heard about Garcelle trying to recruit LVP back onto the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
I'm 100% for it.
Okay.
I think they need to get rid of Dorit immediately. I can't stand her.
I forgot about her already.
Oh,
That's crazy.
You can't forget about her. She's still on the show.
I just did. No, and I just brought up a photo of her at the bat mitzvah today too, and I was like, "Who is?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, that's Dorit."
Okay. Okay. Renee Rod, thank you so much for the super sticker again. Okay. So do you think though, if Lisa Vanderpump came back, if you had to choose one target, who would she be going after?
Definitely Kyle.
Okay. Some would say Rinna, so I'm surprised you said that.
I think that because Kyle keeps doing these secret digs behind the scenes and Lisa knows about it, I think she would definitely come for her.
All right. All right. I'm not mad at that. Okay. All right. Well, Ed and also Doll Baby, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back up. Before I drop you guys down to go over the next few topics, Doll Baby, if Lisa Rinna came back for anyone, who would it be?
Lisa Vanderpump or Lisa Rinna?
Vanderpump. Sorry, Lisa Vanderpump.
I was going to be like, yeah, we can only wish Lisa Rinna would go away.
What did you say? Say that again. I'm sorry.
If Lisa Vanderpump were to rejoin the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast and she had one target, which cast member would it be?
I'm going for Lisa Rinna. I don't think she would go for Lisa first.
Okay.
Lisa have been saying too much.
Okay.
I'm
Lisa
telling
Rinna?
you, it's Kyle.
Hey, listen to Ed over there.
I would get both of them. I would get both of them. I would drag Lisa first, then I would go for Kyle.
All or nothing. Go big, go home.
The chat is going for Kyle. Goodbye, Kyle. I agree, Kyle. All right. All right. Ed, Doll Baby, I appreciate you both. I'm going to drop you down and then I'll bring you guys back up.
All right.
All right.
Really quickly, Adam, I do think it's Kyle because it has to be Kyle, and we have to see that. I think people are going to wait, and I think we are going to wait another season. You know, let's wrap up some Erika stuff, and let's bring back Lisa next season when she maybe has a new spinoff or whatever. And then let's see that conflict resolution that Kyle and Lisa have been having forever. You know, we need that. That'd be fun. A lot of people have said, like even in the chat, there's unfinished business there, and you know, I don't even think Lisa Rinna is even worth Lisa Vanderpump going after. She would probably just ignore her.
Well, honestly, she would probably just go straight to the top, knowing that Kyle Richards is kind of like the leading woman of the group right now, which is interesting because I never thought I would have said that. But listen,
but will we have some kind of resolution? Because, you know, Lisa and Kathy have a great friendship. They have for a very long time. Is there going to be some kind of play in there of Kathy trying to bring a resolution? Is there, you know, I don't know. Kim has a new face. Is Kim going to come back and back up Kyle? And then we're going to have a whole fight of Kathy, Kyle, Kim, Lisa?
Okay. Okay, fair. Before I go on from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I do want to bring up this really quick because Adrienne Bailon, who I grew up knowing as one of the Cheetah Girls, and Rob Kardashian's ex-girlfriend, also now one of the co-hosts of The Real. She's stunning, she's beautiful, she's talented, and she works with Garcelle. Well, she's not a big fan of Dorit. Dorit ended up asking Garcelle on the reunion in the trailer. She's like, Garcelle, let me speak, and screaming at her when Garcelle wasn't even boisterous. She wasn't loud. She wasn't anything. And Adrienne Bailon had something to say about this. She said, this woman, no, Dorito. That's what she kept calling her. She's like, you need to take a second and relax, because if I were on this show, I would be a part of the Bad Girls Club, or I would be looking at some jail time, because I don't like to get aggressive, but it's 8:22 in the morning over here. And right now I feel like it's time to get aggressive.
Okay, wait. Who did Adrienne used to date somebody?
Rob Kardashian.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
how I recognize her.
That's
Yeah.
not her claim to fame. She was a Disney Channel star. She was doing the damn thing way before. Listen, Rob
But
Kardashian
that was your
hasn't done
time. She
shit.
was a Disney star. People in
Yes.
like Mickey Mouse Club for me were like Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake.
Right.
So
but
like your
but my point
Adrienne.
is, she's still her own star. Like, she doesn't need to be affiliated with Rob Kardashian. He launched a sock line. She actually has talent. It's very different. Okay. So with her coming in for Dorito, I love how she calls her Dorito. And she's like telling her, listen, if I were a part of the show, you would catch me in Bad Girls Club. You would catch me a jail sentence. You would catch me with something. How do you think Dorit's going to respond to this?
I mean, how can Dorit respond to it? I think the only reason Dorit was piping up this season, I don't think it's because it's actually how she felt. I think she really just wanted to stand out in some capacity because literally we just talked about how Erika overtook the whole season. I'm sorry, Tom overtook the whole season through Erika. And, we only had the people who would stand up and talk back and ask questions, Sutton and Garcelle. I think Dorit was just trying to keep some kind of conflict alive. It just didn't work because it was so, made up. It was so fake, the conflict, and she was just trying to make something happen. And I think Garcelle just got kind of sick of it.
Okay. All right. Fair. All right. I'm going to move on to our next topic before we go ahead and drop the link again for you guys. We have Philly Diva in the room. We have a few other people in the room. I want to talk about this really quick because I have to get it out of the way, but more articles keep coming out. The Real Housewives of Potomac, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. But Candace Dillard-Bassett has now come out and she said, I blame being drunk for the fights with Mia and Ashley. And she agrees that she has no real friends on the Real Housewives of Potomac cast. But she's also applauding her husband. She said, I think you're like every single person in the world who feels attacked. Adrenaline takes over, the ability to understand why people act the way they do. How could you not know the old saying your mama would set off? Nobody told you behind the scenes. I don't even know what this is saying. The point is, she said, I was drunk. I was drunk. This is the reason for my behavior. Now, mind you, listen, a lot of us have been there, okay? I've been there with friends. I remember being in my young 20s. Now, I'm not Candace's age. I don't remember being her age and being drunk like this and having these moments, but...
Because you haven't been her age yet.
Exactly. And I also have a lot of family members who are older than Candace or her age who have had just as sloppy of moments. So I'm not mad at Candace, and I've said this since we saw the Mia-Candace showdown. I've said Mia has also instigated it. Candace has instigated it. They both have instigated it. There's not one who is more wrong here. They both have hit below the belt. Low budget, your mama.
I feel like that no one's right here. Mia is not right. Candace is absolutely not right. You know what? You need to ask her for a new interview. Let's just squarely.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen.
Lay it out. Let us know how you are. I mean, wait, what happened to Chris Bassett's Twitter? Did that disappear because he was drunk too, or?
Okay. A drunk mind equals a sober tongue. Thank you, creatorist.
I don't know. Wait, what? A drunk mind equals a sober tongue.
I actually like that. Candace instigated it. Mia with the salad, though. LOL. Okay. Would we still watch Housewives if they did not have people like Candace on the show? Honestly, probably not. So
yes.
To get to that.
No, because there are messes that are fun to watch that don't destroy people's, attributes, physical attributes. The way she just goes and how it comes off. It's almost I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I want to love Candace. I think she has a lot to offer, especially to her platform, to the show, but she doesn't allow me to really like her at all. I think some of the stuff that comes out of her mouth is just so vile. Talk about vile Kyle. Talk about vile Candace. Vile Candace's mouth.
Well, to be fair, too, though, we still watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We still watch Real Housewives of New York, Orange County, Beverly Hills, and we don't get these moments where it takes it to the next level. But I see Philly Diva walking all over the place. Philly Diva, if you're ready to come on, go ahead and wave your hand in front of the camera. Okay, I'm going to bring up Philly Diva. Guys, don't forget, smash that like button, show some love. Subscribers only live chat. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and let's welcome Philly Diva. I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Candace blaming being drunk on this whole scene that we got this past week?
Okay, well then, I guess my questions. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
I guess that my question is she a functioning alcoholic? Because this is who she is. Like, let's not blame the edit. Let's not blame the liquor. Let's
How
just
many
call a
times were
spade
you
and own who
drunk
we
when
are.
you said, yeah.
Well, but then
Like-
again, we see Chris drink more than her, and he seemed to have a level enough mind. But I don't know if that's also the part kicking in his head after he's drinking, being like, I don't want my wife to continue to be portrayed as this because I know that she has so much potential. She's really a star in her own right. She can act. She's a triple threat. She can act, she can dance, she can sing.
I don't know about dance. Let's like not go there.
No, she can dance.
I was a
I mean,
dancer.
she's not even Keely.
No.
Like,
No.
Okay, I'm trying to give her some credit over here. I don't need you two taking it away from her. She already hates me.
she can get a good 8 count and she can pick up choreography. A lot of people can't do that. So you can give her that.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
no, great dancer she is not. She is talented enough to pick up an 8 count, which is difficult. I'm not taking that away from her. But
Okay.
sweetie, you're not even Keely. Like Keely making promises. She can keep it. She can dance.
Well, when someone actually messaged her, it was Virginia who said, "Girl, you overreacted." She said, "Meh, I was drunk." And she applauded her husband for taking charge in the situation, even though she was drunk. She had a full meltdown. Now, my question is, because a lot of people feel like I'm biased because Jason and I are friends with Monique. I'm not biased. I actually don't know Candace. I've only interviewed Candace. I've only had amazing interactions with Chris on Twitter.
And just to say, we're not friends with Monique because of Candace.
Monique is
or
a
the
genuinely
show.
nice person too.
We actually met her.
She knows
Yeah,
her job
I mean,
and she does it.
Absolutely, and it's not only the interaction she had. Where Candace started getting mad at Adam is when Adam interviewed Monique.
I remember.
And didn't ask anything about Candace. Do you remember? So this is the there's no. It's like she was looking for people to choose sides. No one was choosing sides, but Monique in person, like meeting her, I've gotten to know her. I think we had a lot more conversation, Adam, than you guys did at one point, and she's fantastic.
No, I can't say anything bad. I got on with her sister more. I love Monique, but I got on with her sister more, and Jason was like over to the side with Monique. So just to be fair, but when it comes to the whole Candace thing, Jason used to always tell me, I don't think Candace likes you from the jump because you did the Monique interview. And my question in my mind, I wondered, this can't be true. But then I saw once the season played out, because I interviewed her before the season even aired, and I saw how she reacted to Karen not picking her side. And I was like, oh shit, you're either team Candace or your team, get the hell out of here. You're like exiled.
And unfortunately, that is the emotional immaturity of a 16-year-old in high school. And I'm not even saying that to be, shady or, the reader. That's just kind of really a stunted maturity, very, adolescent. And I really think that it's triggered to something between her and her mom. I'm not sure when her dad got, her and her mom and her parents got divorced, but she is stunted at an age where it is okay to throw temper tantrums and to blame it on the alcohol at 37 years old. Like, I stopped doing that at 27. I'm not telling my age, but I'm just saying, like, those are childish, immature things you leave behind because, one, when do you start to handle your liquor? And then two, when do you get to a point where you have to have your husband, I don't want to say aggressively.
I mean,
but
that was, let me ask you something really quick, Philly Diva, because I know I can give you my answer. Had Jason tried to remove me from a table like that in front of all of my peers, that shit would not have happened. Like, you wouldn't have got a show. You would have gotten a whole production because I would be like, get your hands off of me. I am an adult. I love you. Don't touch me like that.
Yeah,
and
that
see,
is,
that's the
physical
thing
altercation
that
is something we don't
I think that Chris kind of knew. Like, it could either go one of two ways. She's either going to listen to me and get up and realize she's going over, or she's going to knuck if you buck. And I don't know if you guys know that expression, Crime Mob. Look, it's a great song for people who love their down south music.
I know the whole song.
Exactly. So she's really, unfortunately 0 to 10, and there's no in between, and there's no calming her down. Me personally, my boyfriend knows that if I'm on 10, just let her go, because she's either going to black out on you or she's going to black out on me. I got to go home now. So he would prefer me to black out on you. And he will deal with me when we get home, which I'm sure would not be, a pretty thing. Why'd you let your emotions get the best of you? When did you think you should have stopped drinking? What, like everything that he said when, she was sitting on his lap giving daddy issues. And that was another shady Instagram moment. I can't remember who posted it. But all that, it's giving daddy. That's what their whole trip was doing for me, giving very daddy issues, sitting on Chris's lap as he's trying to school her and really teach her how to be an adult in an adult setting. Like, no, you're not always going to get along.
I have a question for you really quick, Philly Diva. And I want to ask both you and Jason this, because we saw the Monique and Candace altercation, and we're all so past that, right? Like, that was the topic of conversation for a whole season, and it was exhausting. Bloggers were covering it.
A season and a half.
A season and a half. Like, this was the never-ending storyline. But now that Candace is blaming her reactions and her actions on drinking, I want to kind of pan back over, because it makes me think they were doing, I believe it was either a wine tasting or it was at a wine sort of situation. They all had wine because we know that the wine glass broke, but Candace would never, ever say, because this made it to the courts before it was dismissed, she would never say, I blame this on my drinking, because then it would make her look like she was part of the problem, right? Which is fair. Listen, I would, if I were Candace, I would be the same way. If she's trying to go after somebody, if she's trying to go in on Monique and take this to the court, she's not going to be like, I did this, so that made her do this. Or, I did this, so that's why this happened. I was drinking and I didn't remember what I was thinking. But I do want to ask you, do you think the two correlate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think, somebody mentioned in the chat liquid courage and she gets extra mouthy. I think there's a lot to do with her drinking. And, Mia hit it on the nails, you need therapy. And because, say for instance, Karen knows when she's out with the girls, she gets mouthy. She doesn't get aggressive, but she gets mouthy. So she limits what she drinks and who she drinks in front of.
Right.
What I'm saying about Candace, I think it's more so is that she has these anxieties about filming, which I'm sure everybody does. And hers are probably triggered by her relationship with her mother and her financial situation with Chris, being aggressive and fighting with, more than one of her castmates. There are a bunch of different triggers. And I'm sure, wanting to keep her job next season and, making sure she's making enough money and regular everyday stress and grad school stress and putting out an album stress. So I'm sure that there are a lot of things going on in Candace's life that makes filming on top of that very difficult. And the liquid courage comes into play for her to, kind of in film. But unfortunately, I think she's either using that liquid courage as really just kind of like a free for all to say and do whatever she wants. And are you blaming the liquid courage on your Twitter fingers? Are you drunk on Twitter too? Because you're a see you next Tuesday on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I didn't say that, but to be fair, really quick, I just want to point this out. You're not wrong about that, because production really pushes alcohol on the housewives. And we see Kelly Dodd, and we see that she usually 9 times out of 10 has a messy moment every 3 episodes where she is just so reckless with her mouth. We've seen the same thing with Brandi Glanville. We've seen the same thing with Leah McSweeney on Real Housewives of New York before she became sober. We've seen this on a lot of different housewives. And even Jen Shaw said, I was at a point where I was upset. I missed my husband. My father passed away. I'm drinking. And I can imagine that the stress of being under like filming and trying to solidify your spot for the next season would add to that. Like, I get stressed out easy. I don't need a vice, because I'm sure I would probably take it to the next step, just like Candace did, because you're thinking in your mind, like you said, she has school, she has singing, she has acting, she has her husband, she has to hold her reality TV show position. This is a lot of stress. And Mama Dorothy's over here to just tell you how great you're not doing.
Exactly. And so add all of that, you got Mama Dorothy, right? Yep. So yep. Everybody has those kind of layering factors to whatever their personal life is. We did not see Karen act this way when she lost both of her parents. I mean, she was messy and she might have argued, but nothing like this when she lost both of her parents. So that's why, again, I say there's something that has happened to her, has stunted her emotionally, where she acts like a petulant 17-year-old all of the time. And
but do you
it's
think
not
that could just be an age gap, like Karen has learned over the time? So that came.
No,
No?
I'm just a year older than Candace. Come on. What do you mean?
Why?
No. I have no.
it.
That would be an excuse.
Okay.
I'll be calling.
All right, Philly Diva, before we go on, I have Judgy Justice in the room too, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up our callers and hit the topic. I do want to ask you if there's anyone in this world who can hold Candace accountable. We know it is none of the women of the Real Housewives of Potomac, because none of them are a match. Because listen, Candace is not only sharp with her education, her dance skills with her 8 count, Philly Diva, okay, just to be fair, her singing, drive back.
I don't know. Honestly, I think who can hold her accountable is the producers. Nikki, I mean, we'll see what Nikki is a guest on, for maybe an hour or two on a reunion. So she can hold her feet to the fire for a little bit. But if Candace doesn't feel the need to change her behavior, why would she? Like,
okay,
Monique left. Monique was the one who held her accountable.
All right.
I'm curious to see what Nikki's 3 questions are and how long each of those answers lasts. So
I am too.
I want to see how long it takes her to bring out her origami tissues.
Okay. All right. Philly Diva, I'm going to go ahead and drop you down. I'm going to bring you back up with Judgy Justice. Stick around, okay?
Okay.
All right. So guys, 486 in the room. We're almost at 500. Don't forget to smash that like button. I'm going to bring up another topic, and it has to do with these two. Okay. So Lisa Barlow is addressing Mary Cosby's crazy cult allegations, and in doing so, Lisa Barlow says it's crazy. I've never gone down the rabbit hole with Mary. From what I'm told, there's so much stuff online that is crazy. She said, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so I've never really thought too much about what happens at Mary's church, because church is a choice and people choose to go there. She did say when it came to her friend that she's known for a long time who's accusing Mary of having this cult, she said, I'm not going to take that away from him. I believe him. I believe his feelings. I believe he's an amazing person, and I believe he has an amazing heart. If this is how he feels that, he has been treated and what is going on, then I'm going to have to stick with him on this. But it kind of makes me think in my head, wait a minute, hold on. You're not being Switzerland and saying, okay, yes, sir, your feelings are right. There's a cult here. But yes, Mary, you're saying you're not running a cult, so there must not be a cult here. You're saying, this is my friend, and I believe him. So Lisa Barlow, are you indirectly saying that you believe that Mary Cosby, Mary Martha, is it Marthy or Martha? Martha? Mary Martha Cosby is running an alleged
Mary Martha
cult?
Cosby, yeah.
Jason?
We've talked about this, okay? But until the cult comes up, I'm really going to enjoy Mary's nuances and craziness. Whatever Lisa Barlow said, who cares?
Okay, so you're not into it. You don't give a shit.
Nah, not at the moment. Not at the moment. We got to get through the Jen Shaw stuff. I mean, this is scandal in waiting. She's on hold. Mary's on hold. We'll get to her. Season 3, 4.
Listen.
Not right now.
Relax. You're jumping the gun, okay? You're jumping the gun. I just need you to relax. Okay, I see Judgy Justice, and she is waiting patiently. But before we bring her up, I want to bring up something else really quick that's going on. We heard today that Tamra Judge is still waiting to continue this $1 million lawsuit. She is being sued for $1 million and has been since 2019. For those of you guys who don't remember, her and Shannon Bedore went on Heather McDonald's podcast, Juicy Scoop, which, by the way, Emily D. Baker was just on. So congratulations to Emily D. Baker, the #1 legal commentator on YouTube. When they went on the podcast, they talked about Jim Bellino, who is Alexis Bellino from the Real Housewives of Orange County. She was also on Below Deck, and she was a hot mess. He is her ex-husband. Now, Tamra and Shannon talked about how he has shady business practices, how he's not all the way together, and he actually filed a lawsuit as soon as they got off the podcast for damages, saying because of what they said, he can't secure a loan, nobody wants to partner with him, and nobody wants to go into business with him. Shannon Bedore actually won the lawsuit, and he has to pay back $136,000 in attorney's fees. But for Tamra Judge, she's not there yet. Now they pushed it back until January. They have 60 days. Their court date was supposed to be November 8th. Why is it still happening for her? Do you think that they'll have to settle, or do you think that she'll win in the sense that, like Shannon, he will have to pay her attorney's fees?
Is it sad that I only know Alexis from Below Deck?
Yes, it is sad. Yeah.
So I don't know much about her husband, but because Tamra and Shannon went on this podcast, which I'm not, I love her podcast. I love Heather's podcast. But how many people are listening to it being like, maybe we shouldn't hire this guy? Is that really is that a claim?
Well, I don't know, but there's one person I'm sure who has an opinion on this. So let's find out. Hi, Judgy Justice.
Hey.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So
go ahead on this, because I'm curious. Did you know anything about this Tamra Judge lawsuit?
Nope, because those are not my people.
And you know what? Don't lock me into that, because it's not mine either.
It's like, I said blonde people with more blonde people, and I'm just like, oh, blonde on blonde crime.
Oh. Okay. Well, listen, blonde people aren't my people either, because I don't have blonde hair. So don't loop me into that. And I'm
the only blonde person's crime we care about is Erika Jayne. So
yeah,
we're still, they've taken a back seat.
You said it. I didn't say that shit. Okay, so real quick, Justice. I was about to say Judgy. Justice, real quick. Out of everything that we've covered, what would you like to chime in on?
So I'm just getting in here because I was assuming 6 o'clock, so I was still working.
Sorry.
No, that's I want to say it's my fault, but it's your fault.
No, it's actually, okay. Can we say it's our fault? What the fuck?
It's our fault. Sorry. I apologize.
Okay. So I was I only caught the dead end of the discussion about who can hold Candace accountable. And I agree with you that it's only the producers. I also think that Candace is going to get another season, because why not at this point?
Right. She'll get another season for sure.
Oh, for sure.
So I don't think that everyone calling for her to be removed is, what would we be talking about if she didn't do all this theatrical stuff?
I don't even think that we should call for her to be. Listen, I don't think that that's the answer. Obviously, if you remove her, I've seen this. We had friends who were on different Bravo shows. We see how they react, and they get upset because they took it to that next level and they couldn't redeem themselves on the show. So it impacts their life outside of the show. I don't want to see Candace get removed. I want to see Candace evolve the same way we've seen so many different housewives evolve. Think about it. We've seen we've seen Ashley Darby evolve. We've seen who else? Lisa Rinna. That's no fucking way.
Come on. What the hell?
I don't think you guys have a long list.
I'm trying to
usually devolve.
I'm trying to. Yes, usually they devolve, but Bethany Frankel evolved. Ashley Darby evolved. Portia Williams damn sure evolved for sure.
And then downgraded herself. So
with
a baby dinosaur.
I didn't say. What'd you just say?
He's a baby dinosaur. That's what he reminds me of.
Who are you talking about?
Simon Gobadia.
Oh.
Or as he's called on the YouTube streets, Simone, because he wanted to
Simone.
Okay. Okay, Justice. All right. So
I really think for Candace, I don't see that she's losing any opportunities, honestly. I feel that I've seen her on a few different smaller projects, but she was on this Netflix show, Family Reunion with the Maury, sister Tia Maury. She was on BET Her. She's getting out there, and she's still steadily getting more projects. So I really don't agree that the persona that she has on social media and on this TV show are the same person in a sense. Because it seems to me that
I've always told Adam that, even when she goes off on, us, or Chris goes off on us or whatever, I've always said, you know what, if we actually sat down with Candace, we would love her.
What?
As
that's
a person,
the most annoying
that's
part.
not the person we get on TV though.
I agree.
You know what I mean? 100%. I think she reminds me of so many of my friends that I would love to chill with, but I just.
I agree with you, Jason, because I think that even if we sat down with Chris, I think that honestly, Chris is, and I hate to say this about him because I don't want to sit here. Listen, the last thing I want is like my Twitter notifications going off and then being like, oh shit,
he doesn't
here we
have
go.
it right now. Apparently he's
right
That's
now.
good. That's good.
Oh, yeah, at him right
That's good
now.
for everyone.
As soon as this is over, that account will be activated. Trust me. Chris is on that shit. And I have somebody who keeps on faking my name and coming up in my chat saying stupid shit. And I'm not saying it's Chris, but it makes me wonder who it could be. But for Chris, I could totally see where outside of all of this, like I could sit down, if none of this existed, I could sit down with Candace and Chris and have a lot of laughs and just shoot the shit and be like, hey, and have a great time. You know, they're still very real people. They're easy to get along with, but they're just not the ones you want to cross because Candace will read you up and down for filth. That's part of her character. And yeah. I only say character because when I did my interview with Crystal Kung Minkoff, she made it known these are characters of yourself. Like you get this much of yourself that's edited into a show, and there's a whole spectrum of yourself that nobody gets to see because that doesn't fit into the producer's mind of what works for great television.
Yeah, because I think you know, when Janelle was talking about, and it made me think a little bit last night, you know, was about how we have to make sure it's a consistent storyline. And I think the consistent storyline with her this season and last season is that they want to keep feeding into this spoiled brat, you know, because that's what I'm seeing of her. I think that there's plenty of different opportunities that she must be a part of that are not, you know, just being spoiled. And I think that's really sad that that's the side we're getting of her and, you know, but I don't still agree with the character she chose to play. Cause if you could be anybody, why be her? Why would you want to be her? So.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Hold that thought, Justice. I'm going to bring you right back up and I want to talk more about this. And I promise you, I won't bring you blonde Tamra Judge. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. No one really cares about Tamra Judge.
Because I've heard briefly about it. I think that it's going to end up being a wash just because you have to prove that you've missed these opportunities. And I think like you have to actually have tangible proof that you were, you know, up for this. And then this went out, you know, the story came out and then you lost that opportunity. Right. And I think also he brought more media attention to it with him filing a lawsuit
than anything else, because I really think nobody, you know, there's all these podcasts or radio shows and all these different platforms. I really doubt people are, you know, who. And it's by the way, financial backing would be. For those who don't know, his business is a trampoline business.
So what?
Yes, he sells trampolines.
What kind? I was a trampolinist. You know, that's how
family home trampolines. This is what we heard. Kind. Okay, so I want to get back to that in a second. Justice, stick around. I appreciate you. We'll bring you back up.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We also have Portland with Jordan. Jordan, are you driving? Okay, just making sure, Jordan. Jordan's like this in the chat. Like, no, I'm not driving. Okay. Hi, Jordan.
I wrote it in the chat that I wasn't driving.
Okay, we like to keep safety first around here. Jordan, obviously nobody gives a shit about Tamra Judge and her lawsuit because everyone's made that known already. So I do want to ask you a couple questions really quick, getting back to our main topics, because tonight is the night of 007. So we have a full 11 minutes left in this live chat because Jason is getting his wishes against my better judgment. But Jason is getting his wishes. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the fact that Candace is blaming her actions on being drunk when she had this altercation with Mia and Ashley? Or do you want to start with the fact that Garcelle and Lisa Vanderpump have finally met, and let's just speculate what their conversations were behind the scene?
I can start with Garcelle and Lisa because it's not going to take me as long.
Okay.
Why is this a thing?
What do you mean?
Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? I don't like. Why is this a thing?
It's a thing, and let me tell you why.
Thank you, Jason. Take it away, Jordan.
No, I'm just gonna say, you know, it's a thing. It's a thing because Lisa had it put in Daily Mail.
Go ahead, Jason.
It's a thing because Lisa had it put in Daily Mail.
Okay, Jason, that is not the answer we were looking for. Guys, if I would have known he was
That was
I'm just
exactly what I
she
thought
has
you were gonna say.
okay, let me rewind really quick because I know we only have a short time. But that's allegedly. That's my opinion. Okay, listen, I know Lisa has a very close relationship with Daily Mail. Daily Mail sponsored the whole opening night party for Tom Tom, as you remember.
I don't remember
Adam.
that. I don't
Yes, you
remember
do.
that.
Quick
You can
question.
look up some photos. Look up photos because I can show
Don't.
you.
And
But
on top of that, you remember in the first few seasons of Vanderpump Rules, weren't they going to the Daily Mail party?
of
Okay.
course,
Oh
Each
my
they have a
year?
great relationship. So the fact that you put Lala Kent's name and Garcelle Bouvet's name
Mhm.
into this, but nothing was mentioned about what kind of event. It was just kind of a fluff piece on, hey, Lisa's here. Lisa Vanderpump now is going to be, in the
After
headlines.
Lisa already
Garcelle
said that she
Bouvet.
would only
in the-
return if Garcelle and Sutton were there exclusively. Yeah, like that all makes sense. I just don't think that Garcelle is participating in the BS. Do I think that Lisa
No,
is doing all of this? Absolutely. Do I think that Garcelle was just showing up to an event for Haiti and just happened to be able to get a little press for the show in the process? Absolutely. Because Garcelle is a smart woman. She knows that this
I
is going
mean,
to be like a big thing to
it's
a lot
perfect
of people.
timing. And the night they chose to have now, I'm not saying that Mondays are a slow night for any restaurant, especially in Los Angeles, but to
And
have
West
that
Hollywood for
event
sure.
on a Monday night for the press to come out with Lala Kent comes to the same party as Lisa Vanderpump, and tonight Vanderpump Rules, and tomorrow night Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. It's very
I
convenient.
wonder how many people, when they say Lala Kent, they say it like you do. Lala
Who?
Kent.
Lala
Like,
Kent, because
I
I
used
I
to I
wonder
used
how
to think
many
her name
people
was
say her
Layla.
name that
When I first
enthusiastically.
met her, she actually corrected me because for like the first 3 days, I used to call her Layla because I thought her name was Layla, and she's like, "Babe, my name's not Layla," and I was like, "What
Well,
is
I
it?"
wouldn't have guessed your name was Lala. Sorry, Toots.
Well,
Like,
I would
I
have been
just
like
wouldn't have.
Katie, who, and I would have been like, "Who? What the? Your name? What is your actual name? Your name is Lauren, but also Jack
I'm going to
Taylor's
call
name
you
is
Caddy.
Jason."
yeah, I don't want to share the same name as Jax. I'm glad he kind of shortened it.
Okay. Well, he didn't shorten it. He gave himself a whole new name. Jax is not the shorter version of Jason. That's like
True.
me saying Justin is the shorter version of Justice. Like Justice is probably in the back room like, "Oh, hell no. No, it's not."
Or like Bill is the shorter version of William, and like Dick is the shorter version of Richard.
I
Like,
was about to
how
say
does that
that. That
make
is so funny that you
sense?
said that.
Explain. Somebody in the comments, please explain that to me. I don't get that.
I don't get that either. But
But
before
I don't. Why is this a thing? Like, is Lisa probably trying to work up some business to get eyes on Vanderpump Rules? Yes. Do I think she's trying to come back to Beverly Hills? No.
okay.
Not
Okay,
right
so
now.
I want
Not
to
right
pan
now,
over
for
really
sure.
quick because
For sure.
we got your opinion on that, but we only have about 7 minutes left in the chat. What do you think about Candace blaming being drunk on her altercation with Mia and Ashley? What do you feel about that? And just like I asked Philly Diva, do you think that correlates at all with her moment with Monique when they were drinking wine and it got to the next level? Because we never heard about, oh, well, I was drunk, because that would have made her look bad. But now that she's blaming this on being drunk, it makes you wonder. And I'm not trying to incriminate Candace at all. I'm trying to understand because these are our housewives. This is what they give us to do, like work with. These are the episodes in the seasons that we have in the storyline. So I'm trying to understand it. I get a lot of comments in the chat that are like, Adam, stop going in on Candace. Your team Monique. I'm team fucking Potomac. Okay? I'm team Potomac. I want a storyline all the way around. I don't want Candace fired. Because if Candace is fired, who's bringing the drama? Ashley Darby's spitting
Someone
out
else,
babies.
because the DMV
Then
is so large. The
Then Wayne is
DMV,
gonna
like,
tear it up in there.
let
Okay,
me
but we don't have that person in there right now because
let
it's
me
damn
take
sure
over
not Robin.
casting. God bless.
It's
It's
not
not that
Robin.
hard.
Oh no,
Like
hold
Ashley
on.
can
It's
handle
not
it.
who?
It's not
Ashley can handle
Robin.
it.
I don't know. Oh, Robin.
My thoughts on Candace are this though. She has a habit and a history of condemning others. She has a habit of condemning people for actions that she then justifies herself with. She will sit here and say that somebody did this, they did this, and it's because of this that they did this. And then she'll be like, well, I reacted this way because of this, and da 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 da. It's like, you gotta pick a lane, ma. Like, there's no way for you to be on both sides of that fence and be correct on both sides of that fence. Like,
I'm going to tell you why, though, they're not going to get rid of Candace. And it's the same reason that we can't stop talking about her.
I don't want her to go
We
either,
want
to be
to
honest.
like her. I want to like her. And I'm waiting for that moment. And they're going to keep her around because I'm going to sit here every week and say, you know what? I really want to like Candace. And I can't like Candace.
I can't
I
remember
used to
if
like
it was
Candace.
your video, Adam's video, or if it was Kempire's video. I commented this on somebody's video because they were saying something about, did Candace and Ashley make up at the reunion? And I commented on that and said, they're not going to make up until Candace gives birth.
I agree with that. I agree with
And the producers are going to wait.
Well, and because, just to be fair, Candace is, I don't want to say, Candace is hitting a certain nerve with Ashley, and I don't know this because I'm not a parent, but Philly Diva is, Jordan, you are, you both are parents. She's hitting a nerve that like I wouldn't understand, and it would be an easy nerve for me to hit with you guys because I'm not a parent, and she doesn't understand what she's like when she talks about Ashley and her large hips or her big face, her big forehead, her wide body. It's all
wait, hold on. Now, I do want to have this discussion and ask the real question because I can see both sides of this. I can see where where Candace was like, I just want to switch up my read real quick, and I just happen to think of wide body, and okay, and but I also will sit here and be on the side of she is somebody who is strategic and she will lean on being a wordsmith, and she prides herself on using her words intentionally. So there's a case that could be made for both. Did she call her wide body because she just had a baby? Possibly.
Yes.
Could she have just wanted to switch her reads? Possibly. Was it funny? Absolutely. But I do believe she wanted to say that just because it, like, Ashley is a messy heifer, but she does not tell lies. She said it. She was like, you didn't start talking about my titty milk until I started having kids. All you talked about was my forehead and my hairline, which, by the way, still need work. But she has not talked about her titties, her body, her hips, her wideness, her thinness. It's never been any of that. If
Nothing
anything,
physical.
she's complimented Ashley on her body and said on the after show, I still think she looks good postpartum. I just wanted to call her wide body. Well, that makes you sound crazy. So which one do you want to be? Do you want to just sound like an asshole for just wanting to call her wide bodied? Or do you want to sound like you're body shaming for calling her wide bodied? She probably just would rather be an asshole and just say, well, I'm just reading, than just be like, well, I'm mom shaming, because that's going to mess up her I'm on my motherhood storyline journey. Like,
Okay.
So having had my daughter late,
Okay.
I was very fortunate to keep my curves and such in the upward position.
hallelujah.
A lot of women, unfortunately, gravity takes a hit the later you have your children. That's just, and then to add on top of that, breastfeeding. Being a mom wreaks havoc on your body. It just does. And I'm sure Ashley is not the first pregnant postpartum woman that Candace has been around. So she knows that.
Right.
Like, she absolutely knows that.
Right.
So what she was doing is intentionally shaming her body. Now, it may not be because the overt tone may not be because Ashley is a mom, but it is a fact that
It's
now
like
that
collateral
Ashley has
damage.
become a two-time mom,
Right.
Candace focuses more on her below the neck.
I guarantee
Candace-
you next season, Candace is going to call her double wide. Because she has two
Okay.
kids.
Jordan,
I
don't put
guarantee
that.
it.
No.
Wait
She
till
Don't
next
give
absolutely
Candace
is.
any ideas.
Because Candace has not learned her lesson. because
Yeah,
that when she
exactly.
got mollywopped, she didn't really get her ass whooped.
I'm waiting for that next season. Like Candace is
Like
going to call her double wide, and I guarantee you,
she
I'm not gonna
absolutely
bet money, but I do
Well,
want to roll this tape back.
wait, hold on. We have to come back for this because Jason and I's 007 movie starts in 30 minutes and we have to make it over to the theater. But I want to talk about this, guys. We're coming back for Hot Topics because I need to know more and bet your ASS that more of this shit, more of these topics, more of these daily headlines will come out. And I need to hear Philly Diva, Judgy Justice,
Hey, Philly
Forward
Diva. Hey,
Jordan,
Justice.
Andrea
Yeah.
Kinnick, Bernice, and Doll Baby. I need to hear more of this from you guys. So, Jordan, Philly Diva, I appreciate you both. Before we go, really, and just because we're wrapping it up for a James Bond movie, I'm sorry, guys. This is a different. Blame the shit.
I'll take the
I'm
blame.
sorry that I'm late.
No.
I'm sorry that
Don't
I'm
be
late.
sorry, Jordan. Don't be sorry. But what you should be is pitching your channel. Where can we find you?
Well, that's the reason why I was late. I was shooting a video about Real Housewives of Atlanta that I plan on posting on my channel either Wednesday or Thursday. So you guys can catch me over at Pouring with Jordan right here. Wait, here. It's the channel where I run the YouTube streets, pour tea on a variety of subjects and shows, and then sweeten it with my opinions. So come have a drink with me.
All right,
Nice.
Jordan. Thank you so much. We will go follow you guys. If you're not followed to Jordan, go follow Jordan. Jordan,
Yes.
we love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you. Have
Love
fun.
you.
Love you.
Hi,
Thank
Philly Diva. Anything to promote?
No, just my awesome locks. Like,
Whoa. All right, Philly Diva.
Hey.
Tell your daughter we said hello, and also we always love seeing her. And thank you so much for calling in and sharing your opinion. We appreciate the hell out of you, and I hope you continue to join us for Hot Messy Topics.
absolutely. Have fun. Enjoy the movie. Bye, guys.
All right, we'll
Thank
see you
you.
soon. All right, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed because this is a subscribers-only live chat, and you want to join us Monday through Friday for the most part, usually at 6 p.m., even though tonight was at 5 p.m. Before we go,
But we'll be
Jason,
back because we discussed tomorrow.
we'll talk about it on the
Yeah,
community
it's
tab, Jason. Where can we find you?
Yeah, but we'll be back tomorrow,
Yes.
just not Thursday,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, you guys can come find me at Down with Jason. I'm starting to do a lot more lives because I'm really enjoying talking to everyone. So you can come find me. We talk about anything entertainment, reality TV, royal news, and I have a lot of fun guests happening. I have to, sorry, I know I'm taking time, but October, with the day after 25th, 26th, we're going to do Anchor Watch. We're going to recap Below Deck and then transition to other topics. I have a very, very, very special guest joining me for that. It's going to be a late show. So I hope you all will join me and call in and have fun with me. But yeah, come check me out.
Definitely. And guys, I also want to thank Doll Baby and Judgy Justice and Andrea, who was also waiting patiently. Andrea, I don't want to mess up your name, but thank you guys so much. Normally we go an hour and a half. Tonight was a little bit shorter because we have somewhere to be, but I promise you we will get to everybody next time. You guys are the best. I hope you have a beautiful week. Stick in there with work, make some memories, have some laughs, and come back and join us on YouTube. You guys are the best. Jason, I love you. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.